So we're live. What's up? Real quick, want to give a shout out to RITMA Institutes and Serato Studio, and DJ AIVA for letting us do this lecture. I'll run through some basics for you guys, since you guys are new to DJing just in general, and kind of like all beginners, more or less. A DJ is somebody pretty much who just plays music, and aside from playing music, also understands energy and how to control that energy and how it flows throughout the night. That's really the thing. So like you'll see some people that like when they DJ and they don't move, and then they're just looking at their computer, and then like that's really all a DJ does. DJs have had a huge impact in music, in breaking records. So like before the internet was a thing, DJs pretty much controlled what artists became big. That was how it worked. And even still till this day, in my opinion, it's not as, I think the record labels have a lot more control now, but the DJs have so much influence, because if the DJs like it, then now it gets played everywhere. It gets played in the clubs, gets played in the radio, gets played in your car, the gym, you name it. You're hearing it everywhere. You know, Justin Bieber, Despacito. I can't tell you how many times I heard that song, but you guys know it, right? And it's, you see, across the world. So, yeah, so the DJ is really important. Huge. I started off as a dancer, too. That was actually one of my, backtracking a little bit, I would go to the clubs and I would always like be the first person on the dance floor. That was really what got me into the love of music. And then I just kind of like learned about the DJ. I'm like, this guy makes everybody dance? Oh my God, I want his job so bad. So yeah, that's pretty much like a summary on what DJing is and what they do. So that's all it is just a program that allows you to be able to control the music, right? Now you can set cues. Cues are like shortcuts to let you get to a specific part of the song. So if I want to skip ahead, right? There's a lot of power within control within this program. So that's just to give you a quick idea. So you within this program, you can set cue points. You can control your effects. So like, here, I'll run that back. So you can control effects at everything at the tip of your hands, pretty much. Everything that you want to, that you could possibly think of, you can probably do with your hands. Which is, you know, some people are seers, some people are doers, right? This is more of a really hands-on type of thing on the market. It's what almost all DJs use.
Yeah, it's also they started one of the first.
Correct. Yeah. That when I was born into DJing, that was what I saw. That's what I saw people using. So back to the software. So now all the shortcuts, the keys, the cues, the buttons are all the same. Different. In my opinion, I feel like everybody kind of plays with music differently. It's like, for example, I always like to say, it doesn't matter what you play. It matters more about how you play what you play. So like even within the piano or like the keyboard, right? It's like it's about how you play the music. So it's the same thing with DJing or production. The way you create, it's really about how you create. So the way I can give you this program and everything, the sounds, everything. And the way I play is not the way you're gonna play. So yeah, the controller is a little bit better in my opinion. As you can see, this is the first scene. So this scene right here is like the intro. So it starts off light. Correct. And then what's dope is you can see it rendering live. So if I affect something, well, let's say, for example, it sounds really loud, right? It's like loud. Okay. So I'm going to turn it down a little bit. As you can see by me lowering, you can see the corresponding knobs also. So every controller has the same control. Every mixer, controller, whatever. Anything that's Serato compatible will work for this software. Still feels like it's a little loud, so I'm gonna go into that part where it's like the intro part that I first showed, and I'm gonna lower that part. Okay. All right. Everything stays in time too. That's the other thing. Yeah, see. Okay. It's much better on my ears. And really all this is coming up with ideas loops wise. So we'll say I want to create a new loop, right? I'll stop this for a second. I'm going to delete one of these that I'm probably not going to use. So we'll say this one. So now that's empty. And I can go in here, and all these are like my instruments. So this is like a drum rack. And what's really cool about this one is it has a bunch of preloaded like genres. So if there's like a specific genre you're trying to make, you can go into that genre, and we'll say dubstep. Probably not good for this tempo, maybe hip hop. And then you can click on that genre, that specific corresponding genre, and it will throw you a bunch of example beats. And then you can just play them. All I did was push a button. And this is really just to kind of get like an idea down. So it's like, if you have an idea that you want to go, it's like, okay, that's not it. That sounds cool. And that's all it is. It's going through and kind of like figuring out what idea you have in your head, whatever genre it may be. It can be house music, it could be hip hop, R&B, dance hall, whatever kind of music you're into. And you can go here and you can kind of just get an idea. And then from there, then you like, I don't like this, I don't like that, and then you just tweak. Like yesterday, that song you guys heard me make, I probably went through 27 different reversions before I put it out. So it's because I rendered it, and then I found something wrong, and then I rendered it again, and then I found something wrong, and it's just kind of that never-ending cycle until I finally was like, I'm over this. And yeah. So that's what's one of the really cool things about that, and that comes built in. Like, I didn't do that. That's just how Serato Studio is set up. If you know anything about plugins, plugins are VST plugins are like virtual instruments. So like I have one that I really like. It's called Serum. Serum, yeah, it has some of the nastiest sounds. So I'll just load Serum in. So a lot of people that are worried about having access to a within this DAW. And then you can also jump through different octaves. So you can get really like creative. And so then with that, you can create like pitch bends, you can create leads, synths, you can create all different types, whatever you're trying to do within that virtual instrument, you can create. Automation is very easy. So you can either record automation. So if anyone knows what automation is like, if I say I want something to start here and end here, all I do is I click a button and I say start here and end here. That's all automation is. It's me telling the computer what to do and the computer doing it for me. Not having to actually physically put hands on. So that's what automation is. If you want, you can draw in automation. So you can either draw in automation or you can record automation. Like live. Let's see here. I want to go through a couple more different instruments just to give you guys more of an idea. So you can also just load samples in here. So we'll say I want to take audio sample. These come built in. I'm just going to grab anything and then toss it in here. And you just drag it in, and now that sample is in there. The plus and minus key allow you to zoom in and zoom out just the same as you do on Serato. So Serato, if you want to zoom into the waveform, and then I want to set this cue. You can also set that, like this little piano button here, we'll roll that across a piano roll. So you can turn it into like, I don't know how you say, like, kind of like taking a specific sound and putting it across a keyboard. That's the best way I can explain it. So if you want to hear it in C, G, whatever key you're looking for, it's super easy. And then that's the other thing, actually, while we're on the topic of key, this program, it's pretty much impossible to produce out of key. The whole, if you know anything about Serato Sample was a plugin that was created for producers. Very similar tool to DJ software. It was like their first phase of coming out with production software. and it pretty much allowed you to take anything and put it in any key, which is amazing because when it's in key, then it just sounds smooth. So that's one of the biggest things about this. And even the tempo. So if I wanted to switch this to like 100 and whatever BPM, I'll go here. Almost just like a DJ software. Now this tempo of the entire project shifts. So if you're creating something and then it doesn't sound right, it's super easy to switch it on the fly. You know, most programs, it's very difficult to warp sound. So like audio samples, when you take something that is one speed and you try to change it to another, it typically will make this sound like it's really kind of like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's like distorted, kind of distorts the sound to where now it doesn't sound original or the same as what it did originally. So that's huge. Every single piece of hardware pre-maps the MIDI. So if you look here, you see how the knobs are turning. So if I want to affect this sound, if there's something I want to make louder or quieter, you have those controls at your fingertips too, just like as if you were DJing, which is dope. Okay, so I'm going to go from start to finish just through just like a little bit of a show you guys how I like once I came. So I started coming up with all these ideas and then how I put them together. I'm gonna start from the beginning.
Time, right now it's showtime. Are you ready? Let's go.
So that was pretty much it. So like the whole key to this, I feel, is how creative can you be with the sounds that you're given. This software is dope. If you're looking to get into production and you're just new to DJing, it is very easy to learn. It is not hard.
Yeah, I think this is one of the crossover things where you can the easiest way to crossover from DJing to production if you like never did production.
Yeah, this is going to be the live portion of the track. So this is like the master chain, I guess you could say. So this here, what's super dope is like, so like, remember how I told you about creating all the ideas and then how to put them together? Well, if you're not good at just necessarily like playing them all the way through, you know, if you like building, this is also really good because it also renders it all live for you from start to finish. So like I'll just play the idea that came to my mind with all the samples. It's going to sound very similar, but somehow different. So I'll just let it run through, and you can see it rendering live here at the bottom. If you look here, you can literally see.
Let's go.
And it shows you in real time exactly what's happening. Sounds a lot better. Okay, for the sake of this lesson, I will just draw them in. Even though it looks like they're on beat. They're on beat, right?
Yeah.
No, it's, you know what it is? This kick right here. This kick is off beat. That's what it is. See, one thing can throw off the other, and that's all it is. That's all it is. I know everyone knows this track. You have to know this one. Okay. Yeah. So, also another quick shortcut that I learned is Command Alt and then. I can also control the whole project. Like it's literally just like DJing. If I want to turn it down, you have the master control as well. So let's see what else. I'm thinking. Okay, you said piano. All right. Let's go back to Serum, man. Everyone loves Serum. Huh? Yeah, you know, I like to usually just play until I find something I like. That's how I usually work. Now I think I'll extend this because it's probably too short to play that little riff. So I'll probably double this loop. So now it's twice as long. And not even longer. I'll make it, I think that's an 8-bar loop. And I'll try to record that as best I can. Yeah, that's pretty much like, as you can see, that's the flow. So like, whatever idea comes to mind, it could be any sound, any sample, anything. You could sample it, you could put it into the sampler, use it, you can pitch it up, pitch it down, tweak it.
You can sing yourself?
Yeah, I actually like to take this chance to maybe open it up and see if you guys want to come and maybe play a little bit. You guys want to maybe get your hands on? Anyone have the urge to want to come play? No? So I'll show you guys again real quick. So the parameter buttons allows you to toggle through the actual instruments. Mm-hmm. So like here, right? I don't have to look, but I know. Mm-hmm. So that's that sound that I put in there. And then that is the 808 kick that comes preloaded. So I turned it down. So that's the other thing. So it remembers the whatever you do also. So like for example, like how I turned the drums off when I was playing the piano. It stays like that unless I put it back. So it remembers wherever I put whatever, I don't know how else to explain that, but it remembers the actions that I do. So that's just the 808 drum kit. You also have a lot of built-in other drum kits. So if you want other ones, so there's, let's see here, drum kits. So these are all different drum kits. You could literally go like this, right? If I wanted to just have options of different drums, you could just drag them all in if you want, right? You can just to have some stuff to play with. And then, okay, I'll give you guys some more instruments. What else? Guitar. Anyone play guitar? No? Yeah? Okay. Oh, come just see like.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, 'cause I'm really scared.
Yeah, any of those sounds sound like?
Not really.
Not really.
It's
Okay.
more like a piano.
Yeah, it's like
It does sound.
It's weird. It's a guitar.
I think that's because the release is really high. So, and then that's the other thing is you can. So there's the effects right here. The effects button allows you to add different. Would you have like an amp or like on a guitar you'd have?
You'd probably have reverb so that it
Yeah.
sounds a bit more real.
Yeah.
But it's for heavy stuff.
So that's actually just what comes preloaded. So that's probably why it's so trash. That's what just comes stock, right? You probably have to buy some other stuff or something. I don't know. But I'm just loading in whatever. I don't know what that is. Euro zombie lead. Okay. Let's see.
Sounds like a zombie.
So that'll just give you an idea. play and record are up here, so you guys can see up there, right? Yeah, okay. So play and record are right here, so if I want to just play it, just to hear it. So that would be like, you know, you play it to hear, to find what you want to record, and then we're like, okay. That was terrible, but that would then record in, but I think I recorded over it. So, yeah. So then,
Maybe each the drum.
so, and then say like, okay, so that's the first one, right? Now we want to change and go into like the next one. So if you're playing or not playing, so you could be live into the mix, into the session. When you click the corresponding right pad or any of these pads, it's gonna copy whatever was on this pad onto the next pad. So you pick up where you left. So you pick up where you left off. But now if I don't want something or I want to change something, it's like maybe that's annoying, right? Maybe we've heard this sound for too long.